Her live musical performance as a solo artiste of one, Mr. Niall Horan. Hello, everybody! Niall, I do sport a ball of Mara, Gracious Shin, just go here to get twos, or twos and nuuk, to hain, or curra laher, like Shin and Gulamach, good Joe. Cut the captains to hain.
Sure.
I agree.
Gonna water fun.
Gonna water fun.
I'm gonna get you back something rotten for that.
Do you know what? Here's a quick one for you. The Script have released new music, and I know it's on your forthcoming tour around
this date and that band for that date. And I didn't realise, but picture this, they're actually headlining their own show at Shepherd's Bush Empire in like 2 weeks' time.
Which is where you're playing
in
London.
They're opening up for me there tomorrow night. Doesn't really make that much sense, but we're going to have crack anyway. And then we've got Gavin James coming with me all over the States. And listen, he speaks for himself. The man's a genius.
Yeah.
I love him.
The question I had when I mentioned the Script there was, I remember Glenn Power, who's the drummer in the Script. He is a famous enough story where a teacher of his, he said, growing up, he wanted to be a professional musician. He wanted to be a drummer in a big famous band, and the teacher was like, "Yeah, get into a car wash there, will you?" And he sent him a signed copy of the debut album, the Script's debut album, when it went platinum, with a nice note.
Yeah.
Was there any of those moments?
I've had a couple of them. Yeah. There was one time I didn't have a French book at school because I couldn't afford it, and the guy, I don't know, I'm not going to mention any names, said to me, "You know, this music thing is very hard. It probably won't happen." Like, so I left before leaving cert and moved to London. So, see you, bud.
See you, bud.
Chat you after. Your
famous tweet. What was your tweet when you were going for the X Factor audition? What did it say?
Oh yeah, it always appears. I applied for the X Factor. Hope everything works out.
That was Niall's tweet as he went to the applied for the X Factor. Hope everything works out. It's going okay.
It's all right.
Listen to me. We have one more song to do, but I feel like we've touched on the album and the inspiration, the writing process, and your time off and all
Indeed.
that. Can we do something silly now?
Yep.
Is there silly music? Can we
you
have
are
some silly
McDermott, so
thank
I
you.
don't expect anything less.
So I'm trying to rehabilitate my reputation. It's a serious broadcaster. It's about to fail. Okay, so we're going to do the obligatory Snog, Marry, Avoid. We have three very special ladies, some Irish interests in here. Eoghan, potentially, her words, not mine. Actually, no, it's not her words. I'll take that back. Future President of Ireland, Miriam O'Callaghan.
Yeah. Love her.
Linda Martin, Irish showbiz legend and best pal of Louis Walsh, who was instrumental in the X Factor when Niall was around, and of course Katy Perry, who was the lady who sent Niall through in his audition.
Okay.
So, Snog, Marry, Avoid. Katy Perry, Miriam O'Callaghan, and Linda Martin. We're live on the radio.
Yeah, I know. This is me looking at the pictures for those listening at home. Okay, I'd probably. I'd avoid Miriam.
Oh dear.
Hold on, I've got three pictures here like in front of me.
Out of respect.
I'm sorry for the future president of Ireland.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Miriam's gone.
But
so
I'd like to come over to the house for tea.
Yeah, there you go.
I would.
Again, we're live.
I don't really. I've met Linda a couple of times. She's a great laugh.
Yeah.
So
marriage material?
I'd snog Linda, and I'd marry KP.
Okay.
Yeah. We love a bit of Katy Perry around here.
Okay.
She's great.
Enough said.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, let's move swiftly past that. Now, plans moving forward. You're going to do this tour. You've chosen small venues everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan, would you be happy to do it at this level, or are you going, like Mumford & Sons can go and headline Longitude in Ireland recently, or they could do V-Fest, they could pull in 80,000 people at a massive festival.
Yeah.
Do you want to get back to that level of 1D? Because you've chosen specifically, you could do bigger venues now than you're doing, but you've chosen to keep it small. Do you want to get back to the level you were at, or are you kind of happy doing the more intimate stuff where you can see the whites of the eyeballs?
Well, first, I don't really think that whatever I do in my career is going to be as big as One Direction. I know that for a fact. So I think that's pretty much out the window. But I would love to play big festivals and pull in thousands of people. I think the idea for this tour was exactly that, to be able to see the whites of people's eyes played in the album live in front of them in small little, 1,600 people last night at the Olympia. And also stuff I got the chance to do before. I never played little small theatres, and it was an amazing experience. I really enjoyed it last night. To be able to go and play a live gig in front of a small amount of people was amazing. and I'm going to keep doing that for definitely the rest of this year, and probably when I go to announce the tour for next year, it will be of a similar idea. Maybe some bigger places, some smaller, depending on where we are and how big I am in that country or whatever. But yeah, I would love to come back and, like, for instance, play down the road at the 3 that'd be the dream, obviously, in Ireland.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. You have one more song to do for us.
I do.
We're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Link's got a plane to catch. That was look. That was a very half-assed. Oh, commit or don't commit. Niall has one more song to play for us. Aww. Thank you. There you go.
I even awed myself there. Just aww. I stayed through the whole album.
Before we go, people have been texting in. Obviously, our text line has melted, so I'm just going to read out a few little messages, and maybe you can say a few hellos to some people. Owen, please shout out my daughter, Amy Joyce. She loves Niall so much, a dedicated fan.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, Amy. Shout out to Nicole from Wexford, who was at the gig last night in a Westmead jersey.
Hello, Nicole.
Hi, lads. Please say hello to my daughter, Leah Mitchell in Port big Niall Horan fan.
Hello, Leah.
Lads, Claire Callan from Donegal here. Niall, you've done Ireland proud. Hope to get as successful as you in singing. There you go, dream big.
Thanks very much.
That was Claire. Please ask Niall to give a shout out to his biggest fan from day one, Amy Barry.
Hi, Amy.
We love you, Niall Horan, from all at Mr. Jeeves Dry Cleaners, Castleroy in Limerick.
Jesus.
Hey, up Castle Troy. What is the final song you're going to do for us?
Could do Slow Hands for you last. Yeah, it's been. Sorry, go on.
But before we do Slow Hands, can we please deconstruct the line, slow hands like sweat dripping down our dirty laundry? Like, it's disgusting when you think about it.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But it sounds good.
It sounds kind of sexy.
And we're talking about it.
We are.
See what I did? I know, it was literally, there wasn't anything overthought. I scribbled it down, I spat out, I wrote it down, it's in the song. And it was a good laugh to write that song. Okay. So yeah, it was. I had a great time writing Slow Hands, and the reaction to it. Like, when you write a song, like I had an idea. You know, when you're writing, you've got an idea of if it's good or not. But I didn't realize that the reaction was going to be this big. And I guess it stands out to everything else. Stands out like a sore thumb, really, to everything else that's in the chart at the minute, apart from like myself and Ed and people like that, George Ezra and stuff like that. So I guess we're sticking out a little bit, so I think that's part of the reason why he's doing well. But I didn't realize how big it was actually going to get, and it's just thanks to everyone for supporting it and buying and Spotifying it and doing whatever you do with it, playing it on the radio yourself. I appreciate it.
Oh, and actually, you know, there's one question I did mean, and sorry, we're kind of veering away. We were about to go to the song, but before we let you go, I do want to ask you one question. Was you played a very special show? I meant to ask this earlier. I'm sorry. One Love Manchester.
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest emotional punch I've ever seen in one show. I was there, I was at the gig, and I saw you, and you were amongst kind of the luminaries of the music world. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind when you walked out there?
It was mad. Like, you seen yourself backstage. It was the whole day was a complete mix of emotions. I arrived at probably 10 in the morning, drove up from London, and we did my sound check and went in to see Ariana, and she was telling me stories of how she met the kids' families and some of the families of people who lost their lives and stuff like that. And she was clearly very emotional about it, and then she was also very excited about what the day was going to bring. And all I kept thinking over the day was, this is like crazy. Like, there was some amazing moments. I remember we were up on the balcony, and Justin was performing, and this circle started appearing down in the crowd, and I was like, what the hell's going on over there? And the police were dancing with the kids of Manchester in the middle of the crowd, and I was just like, watching a city come together like that was just incredible. Walking out there was different. You know, Slow Hands was, you know, up tempo, and they were clapping and singing. And then when I started playing This Town, and it was just me and my guitar, I was like picking out people in the crowd. Some were like crying, and then the next person was happy, and then, you know, it was like that. The whole day was just an emotional. It sounds cliche, but emotional roller coaster. And I was just so happy to have gotten the call and to be a part of what is effectively the 21st Century Live Aid, really, I guess. And
Yeah.
it was just, as you said yourself, it was a hell of a day.
And there was no entourage for people. There was
No.
not even massive security walking around. With all the artists were just kind of standing around. It wasn't like celebratory or congratulatory. Everyone was just there to show up, do their bit, do it with respect and
Yeah, it all ran so smooth for a gig that was put together in 7 days or whatever. Like, I literally walked past Miley Cyrus as I was going onto the stage. She was coming off. They were coming on and off, and there was no big screens or big production. It was just Ariana's band learned every single person's song in like 4 days or something like that, and we all played with her band, and it was very kind of, in that sense, kind of nonchalant. We were just kind of just going on and off, and it was just so good to see. First of all, music, the city pulled together, and then music pulled together to try and make as much money as possibly could, and it was great to see. Like, I went over to or next door was Michael Carrick's testimonial for Manchester United. So, and the cricket ground and the football stadium are with about half a mile of each other. So within that, there was about 140,000 people within a square mile, or a couple of, about half a mile of each other in that same time. So it really proved that people weren't scared to go out in the streets and go to venues and go to football matches and games and concerts. And it was a week after such a horrible tragedy, but it was amazing to see them pull together like that.
Yeah, and it is one of those things you talk about it, and everybody showed up and it was lovely. But you're right, I know Ariana obviously, but even Scooter, who everybody knows, Scooter Braun is Justin Bieber's manager, but also Ariana's manager. And I saw him chatting to you, and he was saying that he, of course, was at the hospital as well with Ariana. Yeah. And he, even in recounting that, he started crying. Yeah. So it's kind of easy to go, it was a lovely day and it was an amazing cause, but the emotion, it was raw. So
yeah, he was coming, from a father's point of view and talking to guys who had just lost 9-year-old kids. It was a tough one to listen to, I have to say. It was, but I just brought home everything, the whole day, and it was all, as I said, it was just an emotional roller coaster that we won't be forgetting that one very soon, I don't think. It was an incredible day.
But it was a beautiful show by you and everybody, so well done. Now, I'm sorry, I did tee up the final song. When is the album coming out?
The album will be out in October. October, somewhere in the last week or so. I know we're finalising dates and stuff. Obviously, seeing how this tour goes and how Slow Hands is doing and stuff like that. It's all timing things, that bores people to death. But yeah, it'll be out in October, and I can't wait. But playing these gigs is great as well. Got to play the album live to people before it's even out. I think it's quite a nice little touch, and glad we're doing it.
Fabulous. Listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Oni.
Thank you for playing with us. We look forward to the release of the album. Before you go and play Slow Hands, where's the cake?
Cake?
We got you cake.
Got a cake?
This is to celebrate you being back home. We had it made special. Now, my face is on the cake as well as your face.
There's a picture of me wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle t-shirt with me and Eoghan, I was going to say pretend to kiss, from quite far away, and Niall loves Eoghan written on a chalkboard. Where was that?
I don't know. It was in London sometime in the early days when it was all kicking off.
We're all there.
That's for you. You can take it, or else we can cut up and give it to the fans, and everybody can have a slice of Niall's cake. Whichever way we'll do it like that.
Or a slice of Eoghan. Have a slice of Eoghan. Eve won't be happy, but you have to settle for it. Thanks very much for the cake.
A pleasure. Listen, the show, like I said, the fans will follow you anyway. But I thought the real measure was, like I mentioned, the boyfriends of people who've been dragged along. I was listening to the commentary of people walking out of the gig last night. Fans committed anyway, but people maybe who you're trying to win over, new fans, walking out going, oh my God, he blew me away. The gig was absolutely insane. You carried it from start to finish all by yourself, mostly with songs nobody had ever heard. So it's a credit to you, and it's exciting where this is going. So big love, best of luck. Please, big it up for Mr. Niall Horan.
Thank you, man.
Love you. Niall is going to take to the stage to do one more song for us. We'll let him compose ourselves. To our live audience, thank you so very much for coming in. Thank you for being with us. We hope you'll support Niall onwards and upwards wherever he heads.